Hello, fingerboarding world. It is your boy Stevie Harkins, CK, aka Stevie from the Sesh on Instagram. Today we are back from a little bit of a break. Of course, getting guests on here can be kind of a challenge, and spacing out when I can get them on and fitting it within my schedule is a little hard. But we got a good one today, like I always say. We got a special friend from the Onfo fingerboard team. He's one of their pro riders. My guy, Fingerboard Koala, is going to be coming and joining us on the show. We're going to get him on Discord in a little bit. But first, of course, we got to do some shout-outs and do some perusing down the Instagram feed. You know, the little warm-up little sesh time, that we usually do. Excuse me. Alright, excuse me. Jesus Christ, I just, burped and then burped again, and then it, fell inside a deeper burp inside my chest, but that's just a different story. But pretty much we got a new rider for the Go Hard Fingerboards team. Shout out to, I forget the name who it was, but I saw that was cool. I always try to shout out people who just go pro, because that's kind of cool. You only get that once. I forget the name of the rider. I'm trying to think of who it was, but I know that it was Dayton Fingerboarder. Yeah, so word up to him for going pro. Everybody's loving fingerboard connoisseur. I can't even talk. Fingerboard connoisseur's Black Velvet. All the reviews he's getting is amazing. So if you haven't grabbed that, make sure you scop that. Black Velvet is the official fingerboard grip tape of the Sesh. Of course, it's not like a fucking sponsorship or anything. It's just an endorsement I like to put next to good products. So he, for this time, is the official fingerboard grip tape of the Sesh. Fingerboard connoisseur's Black Velvet grip tape. Go ahead and grab you a pack of that. It's super worth it and feels super good on the fingers. Check my review on my Instagram page. Fingerboard New York, FBNYC has been putting out hella bangers. Everybody, Shred and Breakfast and all their collabs and all the people coming onto the Shred and Breakfast squad and filming team. Everybody that has done that, word up to you guys, because that's a dope little fucking group of guys that have just been killing it. I know I shouted them out last week, but oops, I just dropped my tool. But they're doing big shit. It's super exciting to see another group of riders gathering each other and coming together online and just basically doing what they love, which is fingerboard. And I think that's super interesting that they rock that way, and it's just a basic breakfast food thing. And I think that's super cool. I know Cherry Tape just did one too, so shouts out to her. The Fingerboard Queen on Instagram. Shouts out to Cherry Tape. What else we got going on? All the guys that made it on the Tech Deck team, you guys are fucking beast. Everybody that has done a tryout, good luck, and I hope you guys make it. It's super tough to make that because it's I don't know, it's a dream to be on the Tech Deck team. You know what I mean? At least I feel that way. If you make it on the Tech Deck team, you did something special. That's the original fingerboard. Of course, there were some earlier versions of that. We can get into a history lesson if you want another time. But being on Tech Deck is I don't know. It's like being Tony Hawk. It's just some legit shit. I fuck with that, and all the guys that ride with it, keep going, keep riding those Tech Decks, and keep the spirit alive. Genuine FB's been putting out some dope footage. All their guys, the fact that he's been all their guys. I mean, this guy's been putting out good stuff. All his the aesthetic of his footage is super nice. So word up to him. And then I know Chems has been pumping out a bunch of tape. I know they're coming out with a new deck series. I was gonna say it's just I think that they're putting out a bunch of dope shit, and I think that's incredible that they've been putting out so much of it. What else we got here? Sorry, I'm scrolling, as you guys can tell, as I'm doing this, because I just want to make sure everybody gets their shouts out for what they've been putting out. I know Go Hard's got a stock coming out, so shouts out to the new pro and all their stock coming out. And then word up to Suppy FB for consistently putting out shit on his Instagram. It's super dope. I know Arc Fingerboards at 9K now, so they'll probably be giving stuff away. Keep yelling at Don, the owner of that company, to get on the show. We need more people. Also, I want to get Worthless Profit on here. So if any of you guys know Worthless Profit or have any connections to those guys that ride for what is it? Wanted Fingerboard? No, not Wanted. Is it Wanted? What is the name of it? Yeah, Wanted Fingerboards. Yeah, if you know any of the guys that ride for that team, hit me up. I'm trying to get some guys on there. Also, shout out to my man Odyssey, man. He had some health issues this weekend, so show some love to him, dude. Show some support to that guy. All the guys in the Discord is always showing love. So shout out to Odyssey, and make sure you guys show some love to him. And then lastly, I think Onfo's got a stock coming up. Yep, they do. They had a stock live earlier today. Word. Okay. I think we're at that point where we need to do the interview, though. I'm just kind of babbling at this point. I'm like just babbling on. Like Babylon. Hang on. Let's go to Discord. Let's give our man Fingerboard Koala a ring-a-ding-dingo. I hope he's ready. Here we are. Let's give him a ring. Send him a friend request real quick. Make sure he does something with that. Here you go, give him a call. Alright, let's see what we got going. Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
Dope.
Here, let me turn this down a little bit on my end. My headphones have magically disappeared, so I'm gonna have to ghetto rig this interview, but we're gonna make it happen.
No.
How are you doing, my guy? How you've been gone? You've been away.
I have been gone. It kind of sucked.
It sucked?
But,
Oh man,
no,
I was gonna.
I mean, it's been cool.
Yeah, it was cool, the experience itself.
It's been cool, but like traveling around, you get exhausted.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Especially being somewhere else for a long period of time. That must have been something else. Anyways, why don't you give yourself a little introduction? We got my man Fingerboard Koala here. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell a little bit about like your upcoming in fingerboarding and going pro and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. At Fingerqual on Instagram. Before that, Fingerqual on YouTube, which is obviously where a lot of us started back in the day. My first rendezvous was Rendezvous 10, and that was just under a year into fingerboarding. And then, yeah, I kind of kicked off from there, but took a bit of hiatus towards end of high school, middle of college, and then got back into it around junior year, which is really weird because everything was on Instagram now instead of YouTube. But I mean,
yeah, that transition.
I think it's easier.
Yeah, it's a little more like easy to look at, I guess, like ingest, I guess, because it's a little shorter, a little more in your face. But
yeah.
Were you pro during? Were you ever sponsored during your YouTube days? That's one thing I try to ask people now. I totally forgot a little bit in the earlier Sesh interviews, but I always like to ask people if they had any early sponsors that maybe some of the companies that have gone under, or were you just kind of like a hobbyist fan of like the upcoming guys?
I mean, I was on a couple teams, but none of them were really that legit or well developed. But I mean, I thought it was always cool to like have that group of guys and be on a team regardless of what the company was. These days, I've always supported like small companies and stuff, which is why, like you'll see me ride. Like I was Bush's first customer. I'm on Onfo now, and I definitely support both of those guys. Like crazy.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Little fact. Actually, I think close to about exactly a year, I purchased another thing, which is he posted it up on Instagram now. It's like this palette, and I had to paint something very Bush on it. Yeah, that should be coming in the mail pretty soon, which will be cool. But yeah, I guess before I was on a couple teams, but none of them were really that legit until now with Onfo.
No, I understand. Like everybody has those like local brands that were making stuff, but I just think it's cool. Like it separates like you know, understanding like at the younger age, like having that understanding of fingerboarding, like the more like complicated thing. I think when you quit and then come back again, like after being like not so much good, but like understanding fingerboarding a little more like in depth, and then coming back to it, I feel like it gives you that like ramp up of like, oh, okay, well now that I've been away from it and I've seen like skateboarding or whatever it is that you do outside of it, and you take that context, I feel like I've like been like 20 times better than I was when I was younger, and I thought I was pretty okay back then. But coming from like developing off that, how was it like going from, I don't know, young fingerboarder to someone who consistently puts out content, and content that's like pretty incredible? Like one thing that I've said since the beginning is I wanted you on the show because of the fact that you've recently gone pro and you're with a newer brand with Onfo, but you're a really talented writer, and a lot of the clips you put up get like hella views because they're so like, oh my god, did you just do that? Like what was that transition, and when did you start like understanding like, whoa, I can actually do some crazy shit with this thing?
I guess one of my best friends, uh, he is PHBFB on Instagram. Go follow him. He has the best style, I think, in the game, or he's definitely high up there. But yeah, um, I think both of us progressed really quickly at the beginning. Um, but we were kind of always doing the same thing over and over again. It wasn't really until we both got back into it that, especially me, I never really liked my style and stuff. So I decided to kind of push the boundaries with the tricks that I'm doing, as opposed to just trying to make things cleaner. Because I mean, I can sit there and like do like
Right.
30 kickflips, so I'm gonna get bored if I'm not trying something new, you know.
Exactly.
So I guess coming back into the game, I decided to focus more on, I guess, kind of finding my own little niche within fingerboarding to develop, which I guess for me, I really like doing grind trick back into some other grinder, the same grind and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
where,
It's like a
yeah,
consistent thing.
yeah. So I've always been trying to like, I guess, be a bit more creative with my combos that way. As far as like the sponsorship thing and stuff, they mentioned that and how that developed. I mean, before it was really just like about being part of like a group of guys and stuff, but coming back into it, like you have your friends that do it and stuff, so that's not as big of an issue. It's more about um, supporting a brand that you kind of believe in. So,
Of course.
I mean, I was supporting Onfo before he put me on the team, and I would have kept doing it whether or not I was on the team. And even though I'm not on Wish, like whenever people ask for recommendations, I always recommend that one too. So I'm going to keep supporting brands that I believe in, whether or not I'm on the team. And if I can get on a team and support them that way, and they believe in my fingerboarding, then that's really cool. If not, then no biggie. I'm going to keep fingerboarding.
Awesome. No, that's a good way to look at it because you're supporting brands that matter to you. Like whether it's in like a sponsorship official, ink pen dotted line way, or like it's just more of like, oh, this brand shows me love and I like support what they do, so I'll give them a shout out. Like not everything has to be like, oh, I support this brand because they support me. It's more of like I like this product, and it's kind of like a mutual reciprocation. I think that's dope. I think that's like something that you could tell with your fingerboarding page that you're like down to ride with, like the guys that you ride with, and like support companies that matter to you. Now when it comes to like
Yeah,
supporting,
definitely.
supporting companies that matter to you, and like tell me a little bit about the people that you ride with, or are there any specific guys, like you said, like you just shouted out your friend earlier, that like have helped you get to where you are, and or you've met recently that have kind of helped you step your game up?
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't really met anybody in person recently because, like you mentioned earlier, I was traveling around in the Bronx. I didn't
Yeah.
get to go to any events, which I'm hoping to change this year now that I'm back in the States. But yeah, my friend from earlier at PHBFB, his name's Patrick. He's awesome, and he actually was the reason I got into fingerboarding was because we bought some tactics in case we get bored in school, right? Like every kid um,
Right.
who starts fingerboarding. But then he actually bought the first setup of all of my friends, and we all grilled, we murdered him, and like we teased him, we called
Damn.
him pretty dumb for spending so much money on the same thing until we actually tried it and we realized that yeah, hey, there is actually a substantial difference here, and this could be something more serious than what we were doing.
No, yeah, that's
Yeah,
hilarious actually though. You're like, wait a minute, this product feels nice in my hand.
right, right. After that, it's disco is awesome. So is Sub PFB, which you mentioned in the intro. Um, we have a group and we talk all the time. Not that active today or recently because we've all been busy, but yeah, those guys are definitely dope. And everybody on the Onfo team is super cool.
For sure, man. No, like that's cool that like certain people, like whether they're on the same team or not, they have those certain few guys, whether you know them in real life or not, like that you
Right.
ride with, and that's kind of sick that like certain people, you can find that niche of people that like help you push your tricks, whether you're like messaging each other, like like messaging and stuff. I think that's awesome. Um,
Yeah, there's a Facebook group for one of those like tiny little companies from way back that went nowhere, but yeah, that Facebook group is still we message
alive and
maybe like
kicking. That's
once every like
awesome.
8 months to each other, but I don't even know if I don't think some of those guys even fingerboard anymore. But yeah, that was definitely all that group because I was from the Northeast, so I got to go to the stores and sessions and the rendezvous, so you kind of get to meet those guys and hang out with them.
Dude, that's what's up that you've been around the rendezvous scene for so long too, because then that means you've got like guys from back in the day. Like my thing is, I was in like the scene I was in Illinois, and it was so splintered. Like a lot of like the guy from Arc Ramps, the guy from Calply, like all those a lot of the guys that own companies, and I know Close Up was from Illinois. Like all these guys from Illinois are all like splintered out, and I just think it's funny that like You know,
Right.
they'll go
Yeah.
to like the
I can.
Northeast to link up with guys like your way. You know what I mean? But like, it's just cool that everybody has their own group and kind of migrates somewhere to like to do what we like to do. You know. But
Yeah. Yeah.
no,
I
go
was
ahead.
definitely lucky in that regard, in regards to like developing my fingerboarding, because if you got tons of guys around you doing it,
Yeah.
they're just gonna push you further and at least keep it fun, even if it could, because sometimes fingerboarding can get stale, especially on Instagram when everybody's posting bangers day in and day out. But when you have that group of people around you, I think that can definitely keep you interested in the hobby more long term.
Yeah, kind of take you outside of the usual reason of why you're doing it, and kind of give you a fresh, you know, competition of people to be around. Yeah, that's good. That's a positive thing, and I guess viewers listening
Oh,
at
by the
home.
way, I don't know where in Illinois you are, but I just moved out. I'm like 2.5 hours out of Chicago, so maybe in the future, if you ever want to,
Oh yeah,
can
man,
get
dude. Like
together and
I'm
actually
right. I'm
fingerboard
right in
close
the middle of
together.
Illinois right now at my school. Like I'll go like to find some people to fingerboard with. We'll definitely get down, dude. We'll definitely have a sesh or something.
All
Definitely have
right.
to, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
moving more towards your sponsors, like and like how you came up, and like, you know, just like the skills that you like kind of bring to the table with your Instagram posts. And you say you kind of found your style. You said, and then with the flip grind flip thing, like, is there like kind of like a recipe or a certain way that you kind of feel you have to post your clips, or a feel you want to have make sure your Instagram has, like, when people are coming to like pretty much like consume your content on your Instagram page? Like, is there a certain feel to it, or do you feel like you just kind of post whatever comes out?
Right. So I guess this goes back to the YouTube days, I think. And at the beginning, obviously, my friends and I were getting like, what, 14 views. Like we weren't doing it for like views, subscribers, or anything. At that point, we were doing it for ourselves. So I kind of kept that tradition going. So I make sure that whatever I post um, is something that is new to me. So like a trick either I have not seen, or I have seen or got inspired by someone else, but I have not personally done. So I try to keep it fresh in that regard. Obviously, unless there's like some contest or something where it's like you have to do a kickflip trick or something like that. But yeah, generally I like to make sure that every trick I do is a different trick. Um, or at least every video has maybe two or three clips that show something that I may have not done before. I think that keeps my page itself a bit refreshing, because even if you're watching something that has tricks that have done before, there's that payoff where some of the tricks, um, either someone else has done it before, so but maybe not many people, or I have not done it before, and it could be an NBD, it could not. I mean, there's too many people to follow to actually figure that one out. But yeah, I try to keep the tricks somewhat refreshing.
Listeners, keep in mind these tricks that he's saying are some people might have done before. Very few, because a lot of the tricks you do, like even some that you're like doing, like someone's getting someone's back or anything like that. Like a lot of the tricks you're doing, like with it, they're just super complex. You know what I mean? And it's just super very like the grinds you choose to do into the flip tricks that you choose to do are not something I feel a lot of people are comfortable with. And that's why when you say like, if when I post a clip it's new to me, I think that's super interesting, because a lot of people will post a clip because it's like, oh, this looks good. But when you add that factor of, oh, but is it something I've never done before, or is it something that's going to make somebody stop and actually rewatch the clip twice to see what I just did? Like, I think that's an aspect of it that a lot of people don't take to their posting. Like, a lot of the stuff I film even comes out like shitty when I film it, or it's just not the cleanest landing, but it's something I knew that I'm like, oh, that's something I was uncomfortable doing, or it was like something I usually don't do. So that's why I would post it or something like that. So I think like keeping that consistent idea of like keeping it refreshing is critical to keep something as like short. How did you say, like, you know, the mental, like the mind span of people looking at Instagram clips is so short. I feel like if you keep that mindset, it'll keep people looking at your clips, and that's why I feel like you get so many views, because the tricks that you choose to do and the flip tricks that you choose to do into them are just ridiculous. Like, what are some comfortable tricks for you that most people probably wouldn't do?
I mean, it took me forever to learn nollies and then nollie flips, but I can nollie flip out of anything with my nose at this point, because I just do it so much, and it's actually better than my kick flips do at this point. So I
You've just
guess
been beaten
nollie
into
flips
the
is one
ground.
that like at the beginning is uncomfortable, but like eventually it just becomes like the easiest trick. And then three shove is another one I think a lot of people find a bit uncomfortable, especially because when you're so used to doing tray flips, it just always turns into a tray flip. Even I have that issue sometimes, but I guess three shoves is like the other trick that I really like doing, that I don't see as common as some other tricks.
Yeah, I feel like big spins or something and three shoves or something that are like you either do them on accident or you know how to do them, like you understand them like 100%. Like I don't have them both ways, but like I think it's front that I'm thinking of. Front three shoves and front three big spins are like something that I like took the time to force myself to learn. And I feel like when you learn
Oh
those
man, I
early,
can't do front side like anything these days.
well, I mean, it's just more of like what's comfortable with your hand, I guess. But of course, anything
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
just force yourself to learn, eventually it'll come with like, of course, nollie flips and everybody like that. I don't know how long it took you, but it took me like I don't know. It was kick flips and heel flips I learned immediately, but everything nollie took me like a year to learn, just because it was just such an awkward new thing for me. But now that I have it, of course, it'll just come whenever. But I don't know about you, but it just took me forever. Just the
Man, 'cause
idea of
it's just
nollie.
you get that muscle memory like using your middle finger as the tail, right? So when
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
switching to nollie or switch and you have to flip with that, it's a completely different motion. It makes it really awkward
Yeah,
at first.
it's definitely like
And,
a
like
feel you'll never have to feel again once you learn it, though.
right. I mean, like I just started getting nollie heels like a couple months ago and switch heels, but that took me months of just on my desk. I'm really into Counter Strike, so every time I died, I would just keep practicing and doing them on my desk.
Do like six of them
So
in a row and then rebuy
yeah,
at the next
yeah,
match.
and then, yeah, pretty much.
No, that makes sense. I was gonna ask, is there any habits that you have when you film or like when you're doing stuff? Of course, gaming might be one of them. I'm always at my computer when I'm playing League or whatever I'm doing. But is there any other habits you have when you film that kind of get you in your zone to get these big tricks?
Um, kind of. I need to have water there just because the light gets so hot. I'm like constantly drinking water, and I've recently started just listening to music because before I would just sit there in like silence and I would just listen to the fingerboard like dink off the rail
Yeah,
and
like the
bounce onto
ticks.
the ground and stuff. Yeah, which I actually love the fingerboarding sounds, but like when you're filming and you're just hearing yourself fail over and over again, I couldn't do it anymore. So I started listening to music whenever I film and do stuff.
Yeah, music I feel like is something that I recently got into. Like I feel like for so long, as I don't know, my parents dealt with it, but like when you're a fingerboard, you like start to love the sound of like the board that the board makes. But adding that element of music kind of adds a different flavor to how you're writing too. Just because even if you're like feeling a song, you know what I mean, you kind of add that little bit of steez to it. I feel like that's
Oh
something
yeah,
that
oh
everybody should
definitely.
try. But is
There's
there
been there's
wait no go ahead.
there's been clips like back in the day and maybe even recently where like I'm sure if I went back and looked at the raw, I'll like land a trick and then start like I don't know singing the song or like dancing or something to the song.
Yeah, hit that
I'll
little
start
jig.
doing the trick to the beat of the song. I'll like land on the rail and then wait for the next beat before I jump off or something.
Yeah, like before you bet front side, dude. That's like Magnolia by Playboy Cardi is a big fingerboard song for me. I don't know why, just the consistency of the beat. I don't know. It's totally
I'll give
off
that a shot
topic, but
next time.
definitely crowd or listeners definitely give that shit a try. Magnolia fingerboard to that shit. It's pretty fire. Um, with the teams you ride for, like how did you like when did they start reaching out to you and when did you start to realize, man, this is official? Like, I'm probably gonna be a pro fingerboarder, even though it's not like a huge achievement in the sense of once you reach that level, you kind of want to see how far you can go. But like, when did like Onfo reach out
Right,
to you,
right.
and when did your team members like start to like realize like, yo, we should get this guy on the team?
Um, I guess so. I was just supporting on after I got his board, and I got it right after my junior year of college, like the school year just ended. And I was like, all right, get it for myself. He was doing the rip and dip hand painted ones, and I was like, I gotta get myself one of those. Um, yeah, so I guess I was kind of just supporting him, and then one day randomly he just kind of hit me up, but I wasn't even thinking about it at that point. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess it always starts off kind of randomly like that. I mean, back in the day, I used to like chase after and then do all the tryout videos and everything. Um, but I guess these days, in regards to getting sponsored, you kind of can't really focus on it because it kind of ruins fingerboarding, I think, to a degree.
Yeah.
Um, because then your focus is no longer getting better as much as it is just trying to impress specific people. And I think that kind of hurts your creativity as well. So,
Yeah, I think looking for a sponsorship is a good fuel to push you to want to keep going and do things that like like put the extra hours in. but it definitely shouldn't be the only thing that fuels you to do it. Like, it's at the end of the day, it's a hobby, and that's at the end of, like, we always end up talking to this in every interview, but like every other pro and every other company owner says, do it for the love of it. Don't do it for whack shit. Now, Classified Tape, when did they reach out to you? When did you start
That
linking up with those guys?
yeah, that's my buddy, his company, and he was kind of just looking for something to have in the scene, and it's been really small. Like he's been busy, and a lot of the guys on the team have been busy too.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much it's just I was sleeping over one day at his house. We made an edit something. I was like, yo, I want to have something in the scene. I think I'm gonna start a grip company. Even if we sell nothing, I can like do giveaways eventually, and like maybe we can get some people at our live stream just to like hang out with. Um, and yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool idea. So he asked me if I wanted to be on the team, and I was like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
let's go for it, man. Helping a buddy out. That's always the way to do it. I feel
I
like
actually
that's
helped him
something
make
I
the
want to get
website
in.
too. So.
No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I made him make the website and everything too that night.
I helped them
Like
out,
just
dude.
get it going.
Even
We
got on
figured
the tech
eventually
side.
we'll have. Hmm?
I said you even got on the tech side of the website. You helped them out. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason not to at that point.
I'm actually like hoping like I don't know what my complete goal is with the Sesh in general, but at one point I want to get a collective. Like I don't know if it would be like a web page. Like I kind of have one right now, but basically we're like companies that kind of all just fuck with each other can post product and like basically like stuff that maybe they wouldn't even fully release, but like oh like I got these releases of this stuff like just so people that like give a shit about the meta scene of fingerboarding can kind of get something out of it. You know what I mean? Like
No, I feel it. I feel.
just
Actually, I really like the sesh because I feel like you're somebody who's really into fingerboarding, right? And that's the kind of person who wants to do it. Um, and something I kind of want to see is like we have. I feel like websites in general aren't that popular in fingerboarding, which makes me sad because back when I used to skate, like the barracks.com was the place
yes,
to go.
that's
You
like
got all the footage,
was my
you
joint.
got all the news. They had so many different contests hosted on through there. Like it was just, and they had ads and stuff for tons of cool products. So that's kind of like I kind of want to see stuff like that in fingerboarding, but I mean, I
I mean,
think we're too focused on Instagram right now to move towards that, unfortunately.
yeah, that's one thing that I'm kind of like having trouble with just even growing this platform is just we're so into Instagram that I can't put this live thing on Instagram. Like, yeah, I can do a live video, but like there would be no way for me to retain the footage. You know what I mean? It's just so much easier to use a different
Mm-hmm.
platform, but it's just so stuck on Instagram that I don't know like how else I could branch this out cuz we have 5 viewers right now, but most people that come view don't have a Twitch account or whatever it may be, it's just walls of things that people have to do to get involved. But I want to make like a hub where like I don't want this to be like, oh, I only mess with these companies and like the people that associate with my podcast or my stream, like those are the only companies I support. Like I kind of want it to just be like an open. I don't want it to be a forum. Like I don't want to do reviews. Like I don't like you know what I mean. Like I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't mind reviewing products and I don't mind like talking about forum issues. Like that's why I kind of do the interviews because I want people to understand that there's like faces behind these clips. But like I want there to be a hub where people can just like that actually like care about fingerboarding a little bit farther than just that. Oh, is that a tech deck level? You know what I mean? Like and actually like get something back from the companies that they blindly support. Because at the end of the day, like I feel like once a company gets big enough, like the aesthetic becomes so much that it loses that like home touch feel, like the hobby feel. Like I
Yeah.
guarantee, like if you're not like a pro rider or you're not like an actual skate company, you're not talking to Catfish Barbecue, you're not talking to Stack, you're not talking. Like I can't even get these guys to DM me back, which isn't something that I feel like I can do yet because of the fact that the platform's so small. But I remember like when I first started fingerboarding, you could pretty much message anybody, and they would immediately message you back. You know what I mean? Like if you
Right.
ask
Yeah.
them,
No, I feel you.
like it was
Like
just something that was
the companies
real.
you message, I can't even like communicate with them really, and I've been at this since 2010. So
Yeah, like, and it's not that I
yeah, but
want any.
that's why I like to focus with the small companies though, is because they still have that hobby feel, and I feel like the people who are launching my bad, my English sometimes just gets jumbled up, but yeah, these people who are starting like their new companies or just kind of in they've been around for a while, but they're still kind of small. Like they're more focused on what their customers think about them because they're trying to grow.
Exactly.
They don't really have like a set formula yet that they're more willing not just to like receive feedback, but also just to kind of engage the community.
Yeah, like I'm not talking like you gotta come here and answer every DM that an 8-year-old sends you, but like if like I'm not saying I'm doing this to grow this platform. I just want the information to be out there, and I feel like I've like Teak Tuning is like I'll use this as an example. Teak Tuning actually messaged me back, actually reached out to me, and actually was very interested in doing it, but of course due to her schedule, she was too busy. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Right.
You know what I mean? At least you just said something to me. You know what I mean? And I appreciate
Mhm.
that. Like, this is like a platform. I'm trying to build something. You have yours, and like you're always looking for new customer base. It's nice to build bridges, and I feel like even like tailoring it back to your fingerboarding and how you interact with people that comment on your stuff. Like, how do you keep your page real and like that true hobbyist feel and that true passion fingerboarder feel when it's easy to just get lost in the, oh, let me get all these likes really quick and let me hashtag this up. Oh, did I lose you? I think we might have lost him. He might have had a little bit of connection
Hello,
issues.
hello, hello.
Oh, yeah, we got you. You're back.
All right, my
It,
bad. I got this internet set up like literally a day and a half ago, so
it's still
I'm still
fresh. It's
learning it
brand new. Did you
how
hear
it
my
works.
question though?
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool.
Hello.
Yeah, you're good. No, go ahead. He might be not hearing us now. Uh-oh.
All right, I'm back. I'm back. I'm
Okay,
back.
cool. Yeah, go ahead.
Um, I was just saying, yeah, I got internet like a day and a half ago, so I don't even know if this is a good connection or like where in my house I need to be to get it to work.
No, you're good. You're good now. But like, how do you keep that like hobbyist, passionate feel to your page without like kind of getting lost in like trying to keep the pro, keep the likes high, make yourself seem like this is pro riding.
Um, I mean, I guess so. I don't really like the term pro, right? It's
I
not
have
like
to use it
skateboarding
loosely
where
just to
yeah, you're
separate
getting royalties
just
for your board
sponsored.
sales or
I
like
don't
you're
like
getting
sponsor.
paid by all your companies. Um, it's more like yeah, you're like you kind of have this new friend and you're like in this cool little group of guys and they're gonna pay you, right? Or not pay you, but like he's gonna send you product because he's your buddy at this point and he kind of
Yeah,
wants you to to show off his stuff too at the same time. It's not the same feel as skateboarding. So I never really worry about like feeling pro versus not pro type of a thing, like in regards to the hobby feel.
yeah,
And I think you should always respond to every message you get, at least if you're just a fingerboarder, right? Like unless you're getting tons of DMs. Like I can get like a company who is getting hundreds of DMs a day not responding to everything, um, or like they get like hundreds of comments. But if you're somebody who's just getting like maybe I don't know, say 10 comments and a couple hundred views or something like that, then it's not that big of a deal to respond to people. And like even when I can't respond, I at least like their comment and stuff because you want to keep that engagement up, especially on Instagram where people can just scroll right by. I feel like there's not as much
exactly.
engagement as there used to be. Um, so it's even more important now to make sure you're keeping that engagement with the people who are watching you.
Yeah, keeping engagement is something that I feel like is something like is like you said is getting harder as every year passes because as you see fingerboarding grow and you see more and more stuff and it's evolving, like it's you get a little stingier with that, like, you know what I mean, you're less likely to be like, oh, I like this, like you're more like, I've seen that before, I'll scroll
Right,
right
no, I
past
feel
it.
you.
Like, I
I
think
feel
that's
you.
kind of funny.
In regards to what you said earlier about like people doing it for like quick likes and stuff, um, I will like if I make an upload and then I lose like 3 or 4 followers or something from it, then I'll be like, all right, what didn't work in this upload, and then kind of try to stay clear from it in the future. Like maybe like this specific angle just wasn't as good as like some other ones, but I uploaded anyways because it was a hard trick I couldn't do again. Um, so like I'll keep that in mind down the line, but I don't really like to tailor my views for likes and or tailor my uploads and tricks and stuff. Like I want to keep it real to who I am, so I'm not gonna go
Yeah,
like start doing like this random like trendy stuff because that's just not who I am. That's not how I fingerboard.
I got you. No, that makes sense, and that's kind of like retaining, like you're tapering back. It kind of keeps that real feel to your page that you're fingerboarding the way you do, and sponsorships or not and all this stuff ahead, like, likes or not, like, you're still gonna be landing banger tricks, and like that's what you're here to show off. So I think that's
Right,
awesome.
right. So like I'm not gonna go ahead and steal one of TFB's uploads because obviously like that's not my style of fingerboarding, right? I'm not that up close guy. I'm more like here's the camera at a very clear angle so you can see exactly what this trick I came up with is.
Yeah, show you the slow mo just so you can see the flip, not to make it look dramatic.
Right, yeah. Actually, yeah, I have this issue where I flip the board too fast. Even in skate, when I used to skate, like my boards would always flip super fast, which
Hey, you got a hard,
would make it kind of
sometimes you
weird
get
on
that hard
camera.
flick off, catch it like 30 feet in the air.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll happen.
Except maybe not 30 feet when I skated because
No, I
I'm a
understand.
fat ass.
Okay, I got like two more questions for you. All right,
Yeah, go for it.
one is because the fact that and I know you hate the I use the word pro because I hate the word sponsor just coming up in the YouTube era. It's just to separate the fact that I got to give credit where credit is due, and that's kind of my job as the interviewer, is to let you know what your feats were, which is you are a pro rider for Onfo. But being like doing that and things like that, are there any companies or any riders or anybody or any like community groups that you kind of want to get more involved with as you kind of grow as a rider to just as you personally, is there anybody that you want to ride with, or anybody like any companies you want to kind of link up with, or just kind of do more with to see if you can kind of grow that bridge?
Yeah, I guess some companies that may be a bit out of reach for me right now and stuff, but I see arc ramps on Instagram and I'm like, wow, these are the most aesthetically pleasing looking ramps I've ever seen in terms of
No, he
big
does
ramps.
such a good job. I want him on the show. Don, come on.
Yeah,
Anyways,
and
keep going.
also like I see some of the clips he uploads and they're also sick and he skates super sick and that's definitely a guy that I'd love to get in touch with. Um, as far as companies go, I mean when I see them I always call them out. Um, give them a shout out. Actually, I'll scroll through Instagram right now real quick, so I don't forget anybody. Let me go find my phone.
No problem. No, it's good though.
Hey, you there?
Yep.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm right here. Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool. Medieval Marsupio, super dope guy. He actually did a community edit not too long ago where I had people send me some clips and then I just kind of edited it all together and uploaded it. So pretty much all the guys on there I would love to sesh with in person or just continue doing stuff with them. Medieval Marsupio being one of them. Um, yeah, PMG or Pat McGinn. He was my first favorite fingerboarder,
Yes, dude. Pat
and
McGinn.
honestly, still awesome.
Funniest and
Infast
illest fingerboarder.
_FB. What was that?
No, I was just saying Pat McGinn, funniest and illest fingerboarder. But keep going.
He was definitely my inspiration at the beginning because I thought my style when I started was kind of similar to Pat McGinn's, and I was like, all right, this dude's up there skating with like Mike Snyder. How can I do that? And he was kind of the guy I watched for that.
Yeah, his Vegeta.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I guess Sweaty FB is another guy I'd love to
Shout out to him, dude. No, yeah, that's dope though. That like you kind of have you saw even at a younger age like riders that were kind of doing big things that weren't like, maybe like top noticed and stuff like that. Like I want to get Chris Daniels on here and stuff like that, but I always end up like missing him or he misses me or something like that. Like I want to get some more flat face guys on here for sure. But those guys that you listed are definitely some guys that I would definitely want to link up with myself. But my last
you should definitely get some of the flat face guys. They're the real OGs.
Yeah, dude, exactly. We got to get a sesh with them in here. Maybe they'll come back out to Illinois one day. But the last question I have to ask before we wrap it up, and I let you give shout outs to anybody you want to shout out and announce anything you got coming out. Is there's one impression or one effect or one thing that you can leave behind in the fingerboard world? What would it be? Like what would be your one thing you leave behind?
Interesting question. Like I don't think I'm like a company where like I've been able to help grow the scene in that way or anything like that. Like as a fingerboard, I hope like Pat McGinn did for me earlier on, and like how my friend Patrick kind of did for me. Kind of get somebody to pursue fingerboarding, I guess, a bit more seriously. I guess not seriously, but like kind of stay and keep on it.
Yeah, be a little more passionate about it.
and I love people to try to get a bit more creative with their tricks, regardless of like what their style is like, just to help them make their impact on the scene. Because like I
Exactly.
said, like my style's gone a lot better now, but that's just because I've been fingerboarding for so long. Like early on, I was not a big fan of it, and I also hate my voice. Like I'm gonna watch this later on and just be like, wow, I hate listening to myself. But yeah, I just hope my clips kind of get somebody to stay on with fingerboarding and discover something new in it, whether that be a new trick or a new brand or something like.
Awesome, dude. That's awesome. It's a real humble way to look at it, especially as a writer. Producing comment and doing what you can. Sometimes people feel like being a writer can't have that same effect as some of the larger companies. But of course, I feel like a lot of people see your fingerboarding and are inspired by the fact that you're doing such big tricks and you're showing people like complexity is still there and you can still get big clips without the fancy angles. It's more of like the quality of what you're putting down. And I think people appreciate
Yeah,
that. So, with that, thank you so much for coming on the sesh, bro.
no worries. I'm
Um,
sorry it took so long.
Dude, no, I'm sorry that I couldn't get a good date like with you being over there. I was trying to meet you in the middle, but I work a job in the day and at night, and they alternate. So it's like the most ridiculous thing. So that was my
No
fault,
worries,
dude. I've been
man. I
trying to have
feel
you on
that
since
work
season one.
work can be tough.
No, but dude, thank you so much, my guy. You can take this time to shout out to any of the guys or any of your sponsors or any of the stuff that you need to say. If you got any videos or anything coming out or any clips that you just posted, definitely give that a shout out. And then, of course, give your for your Instagram, and then I'll let you get out of here.
Yeah, at Finger Koala, that's who I am. FingerKoala. Definitely check me out. First shout out definitely to Brandon. Thanks, so super grateful to be on Onfo.
Word up to
It's been
Brandon.
super sick to yeah, it's been super sick to get those boards in the mail and always something new that he's trying out and giving us. So that's definitely super awesome and also kind of giving me a platform to grow with that as well. And then shout out to Patrick, who I mean, obviously he got me into fingerboarding to begin with, and we still talk all the time. So actually, I am hoping I guess, quickly skip over to stuff that I have upcoming. I don't have a desk yet, which is why I haven't been uploading. Like, I don't have my furniture's been getting delayed for like a week and a half now.
IKEA,
I don't have
hurry it up.
internet for like 2 days. Yeah, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna be posting more. But he should be coming out here later in the summer, and we're gonna build a park, and that's gonna be a super sick vlog, super fun, and
That
tons of
sounds
cool edits.
actually like
And I'm
tune
hoping to
in.
do something with the rest of the Onfo guys soon.
Awesome, dude. So expect big footage from him personally, him and Patrick. A personal park coming out. That sounds like a dope part, honestly. Like you guys building a park and then shredding it for a full video. That would be something the world would love to see. And then, of course, seeing you ride with the Onfo guys and just the Onfo team itself, everybody would love to see that. So good quality content coming your way. Follow him at Finger Koala. Gotta get in there. Thank you so much for coming on the show, my guy. And I guarantee you,
Thanks
I
for
will
having
be
me on.
asking you to come on again for some more like I want to get like a council, like you know what I mean, like a group of guys to just come on for
I
like
feel
the
that.
next season to come on, and like between company owners and writers, kind of just get like a round table going. But definitely
Oh,
keep an eye out for that. And thank you, man.
that'd be
Thank you for
stupid.
coming on.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem, man.
Peace out,
I'll
homie.
talk to you soon.
Hell yeah.
All right, peace. All right, guys, that was Finger Koala. We just did that. We just got him on here. Finally made it happen. Finally did the damn thing. Give him a follow on Instagram again at Finger Koala. He puts out great content. Like I'm talking like bangaroos, dude. Like all day. Definitely give him and Onfo Fingerboards a follow on Instagram. That's a company you definitely want to keep your eye out on because they're putting out quality boards and putting out quality content. Anyways, like I do, I'm gonna end with some wrap up thoughts. Recently, I don't know. I feel like fingerboarding, like just now talking, like we gotta get creative, you guys. Don't just post to post. Post some good shit. I want to see some quality stuff. Also, Instagram, fix your algorithm. Everybody's hating you guys. Everybody wants a chance to see their clips. Everybody gotta wait like 2 days to see a clip they posted from 4 days ago. It's getting funky over here. Lastly, any companies, any writers, anybody involved in the fingerboarding community, please reach out to me at Stevie from the Sesh. It's right in front of you on the screen, at Stevie from the Sesh on Instagram. Hit me in the DMs, bro. I need writers. I need people to come on the show. I need people to come, send stuff in, get reviews going. Let's get some, if you got a video or you got like product coming out, let me advertise that for you. You don't even have to send it in. Just tell me what it is. Send me a picture. Let me know what it is. I'll let people know to get excited for it. And when it comes out, we can talk about it. I need product. I need decks. I need all that stuff, guys. Come on in. We do not bite here at the Sesh. We just want the fingerboarding community to get the best products, the best information from their best host, Steve from Sesh, a.k.a. me. Just kidding. It probably could be anybody else doing this job, and they'd probably do way better. Just kidding. Probably not. Anyways, what the fuck am I talking about? Let me get the hell out of here. I'm Stevie, at Stevie from the Sesh. Give this a follow, and if you want to support the channel on a higher level, definitely think about subscribing to this channel and or donating to the cause of the Sesh to keep it going. This week, I think we're going to have one more rider, and then I'm going to do another riding session like I did last week or 2 days ago, where I just kind of like fingerboarded on camera for a couple hours, and we just kind of answered questions and kind of like kicked the shit back and forth. We're going to take a break on interviews after this next one, and we're just going to do episodes for like 2 more episodes, and then we'll go back to interviews because of the fact that I want to gather some more people. And it's sometimes hard to find the right companies because I do have a certain standard of companies I do want on here, so I don't want just any company. I want a little bit like, I want to show off the companies that people are actually buying from and things like that. And I also want to give, I want to get some more other stuff like wheels and ramps and everything like that a chance. So I'm reaching out to those guys, not just only deck companies, So with that being said, I'm going to rotate out of here. We're going to get some of my new music out here. As you guys know, I make music on SoundCloud at Stevie Harkin CK. We're going to get some music going now. Play my new track, Roaming. Definitely give that a listen on SoundCloud.com/Stevie Harkin CK. And I will see you guys next time on the Sesh. Peace. And you say you like me, but you say you like me. Like, yeah, you say you like me, but I'm more like you. Hey, y'all niggas, listen. Y'all niggas average like your everyday Reddit. I always tell a burger bitch she can get her patty slapped. I keep saying dope shit, I just call it bagging rap. Leave you niggas stuck in the problem homework Pakistan. Homie got your jewel with you, let me get a smack of that. All my girls pretty and aggressive like a snack attack. Disrespect to your homies like